Be compassionate and have genuine empathy and kindness towards yourself and others. Whether they realize it or not, most people often operate in ways that contradict the powerful belief of being compassionate, kind, and empathetic towards themselves and others. Instead of extending understanding, they fall into patterns of judgment, criticism, and self neglect, creating disconnection and unnecessary suffering in their relationship with themselves and others. When it comes to themselves, people tend to be their harshest critics. They replay and they head their mistakes on and on and on, comparing themselves to others and hold themselves to impossible standards of perfection. Instead of offering themselves compassion and moments of struggle, they shame themselves for falling short. This lack of self-kindness fuels anxiety and the feeling of inadequacy. Imagine speaking to a friend the way you speak to yourself. Would it sound loving or would it sound harsh? With others, people often react rather than being able to respond. Instead of seeking to understand, they judge or assume the worst. They get defensive during conflicts, criticize really quickly, and hold on to resentment rather than being kind, compassionate, and empathetic. The busyness of life can easily overlook the struggles others face. In doing so, meaningful connections are replaced with tension, miscommunication, and isolation. The tendency to judge rather than empathize, to criticize rather than connect, is what keeps most people stuck. Without compassion for themselves, they cannot truly extend it to others. Without empathy for others, they cannot build relationship found on trust, on kindness, and mutual understanding. But here's the thing: compassion is not a weakness. Empathy is not passive. Those are strengths that heal, empower, and elevate us. When we step away from judgment, from self-criticism and blame towards ourselves, and we really step towards kindness and understanding, we open the door to connection, to growth, to peace within ourselves and our relationships. The thing is, are you ready to let go of the old patterns and really embody the belief that compassion and empathy are the keys to a more fulfilling life? It starts with you. Be as kind to yourself as you are with those you love. Respond to others with curiosity, not judgment. Because when we embrace compassion fully, we transform not only ourselves, but those around us. And here's the thing: most parents out there are stuck in a cycle of frustration, and that's where they stuck with their teens, because they constantly reacting rather than truly being able to connect. They quickly to correct, criticize, or control, sometimes without even realizing it that they're doing it, because that's what they be conditioned to do. But let's be honest, none of us want that, right? We're not here to parent on autopilot, following outdated models that don't serve us or our children. While others might see conflict with their teens as something to win, we see it as an opportunity to build trust and connection. They might dismiss their teen struggle as just a phase. We know better. We know that validating our teens' emotions and listening with empathy builds lifelong connections. Where others too hard on themselves, second guess their decisions, and drowning themselves in guilt when they make a mistake. We choose something different. We give ourselves permission to be okay with whatever it is. We believe that a compassionate parent starts with being compassionate towards themselves first. And that's something so many people are missing. This is because you cannot give what you don't have. Yes, you cannot give what you don't have. So while some parents might keep operating from a place of control, judgment, blame, we are choosing a different path, a path firmly established in connection, empathy, and kindness. Because we strive to be emotionally fit parents, we know that compassion isn't just a soft skill. It's the most powerful way to transform conflict into connection and raise confident, resilient children. We aren't about what most people do, and that's what makes us different. And I know you wouldn't want it any other way, right? Now, imagine a world where compassion, genuine empathy, and kindness aren't just nice to have quality. They the foundation on how we live, parent, connect with one another. That future is coming and it's closer than you think. Right now, we are seeing that shift. Parents are really waking up to the fact that the old way of parenting with control and judgment and reactivity just don't work. Parents are realizing that kindness and connection aren't weaknesses, they're strengths that cultivates trust, understanding, and growth. We're no longer willing to repeat our patterns of harshness, blame, and guilt. And instead, we are creating relationship where compassion is the norm. This is what we want. Think about it. A future where parents listen. They listen before they react, where teens feel seen and understood, not dismissed or shut down, where kindness towards ourselves, especially when we mess up, teaches our teens that they too can embrace their imperfection and it's okay to make mistakes because they will learn something from it. This isn't just parenting for today. It's about building an emotional fitness and empathy that will impact generations to come. And here's the best part. When compassion becomes the norm in our homes, it spills all around. Our children will grow up knowing how to lead with kindness, resolve conflict with empathy, and treat others and themselves with respect. Imagine what kind of future that creates. A world where people uplift one another rather than tear each other down, where understanding and care really replaces judgment and disconnection. This is the shift. The best part is you part of this shift by choosing kindness in our homes, showing empathy for our teens, and modeling self-compassion in our daily lives. We are reinforcing this. If we don't make this shift, the consequences are dire. Without compassion, this connection will continue to really grow. A teen will feel unheard, unseen, and misunderstood, leading to strain in the relationship, to poor mental health and emotional isolation. We already seeing the rise in anxiety, depression, and stress among young people. The more disconnected they are from us and from themselves, the more likely they are to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms, withdraw from meaningful relationship, or lose confidence in themselves and their own worth and their self-belief. The responsibility starts with us, the parents. Now, I invite you to pause and ask yourself this powerful question. Who do I want to be as a parent, a role model, and as a human being? Do you want to be the person who leads with compassion, who builds connection, and who teaches your children that kindness and empathy are the foundation of a fulfilling life? Or do you want to look back years from now wishing you would have done things differently? Ask yourself, am I showing up for my children with patience, understanding, and love? Am I modeling the kind of emotional strength and kindness that I want to see in them? Am I becoming the person I want my kids to remember when they reflect on their childhood? Those questions aren't just reflection, they are roadmaps. They guide us to the parents we truly want to be. So I challenge you, what small shift can you make today to be that person? Because the truth is, our actions today shape who we become tomorrow, and you have the power to choose. Who do you want to be? Yes, you have the power to choose. Who do you want to be?